Hi guys, welcome back to Cheney's TCG store. Today I remembered to wear my headphones, so hopefully it'll sound better. I keep meaning to do it, but then I get ahead of myself and then I just don't do it. But I'm gonna try to remember to wear them so that it sounds a little bit better and more clear. But let me know if you can notice the difference between me wearing headphones and me not wearing them. But today's market watch is gonna be relatively shorter on the shorter side, still not too short, but there are a few cards that have been bought out recently, so I kind of wanted to cover those and give my thoughts on them. And the first one we have here is King of the Swamp, which has a few holo printings. The first one is Hobby League 1 super rare, which is now lowest 55, and then going up over 100. If you have these, I would sell them as soon as you can. It's just not worth it. This card was really cheap for a long time. And so if you've had these, I would just go ahead and offload them, take your profit. And then besides that one, also the dual terminal 4, lightly played, going for 19, then up to 40 for near mint. I got this card when it was $1.50 like 2 years ago. So again, don't buy this card, go ahead and sell it. If you want to keep one copy for yourself to play with, I understand. It is a pretty decent card, but not worth this price point whatsoever. Even the Fusion Enforcers are $7, and I would offload these as well. Because these were 25, 50 cents for the longest time. These are up quite a bit. And I actually don't really know what people are using this for, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a good card. So I'm sure that there are some uses. And it is fusion related. So it's kind of like the light hex sealed fusion, where it's that you can use it as for any material. But we'll actually read one. I think Fusion Enforcers is pretty recent. Make sure there's no errata. But maybe that'll clue us into what it's being used in. This card can be used as a substitute for any one fusion material whose name is specifically listed on a fusion monster card, but the other fusion material must be correct. You can discard this card to the graveyard, add 1 poly from your deck to your hand. Okay, so this is probably being seen play and branded. Probably more so to add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. But the first effect I don't really like versus something like the hex sealed fusion, because the hex sealed light fusion just says you can use it as any material for a fusion monster, whereas this says the name has to be specifically listed on the fusion monster card, and the other fusion material must be correct. So I actually don't like this. You'd have to have a card that says specifically like Fallen Valbaz, right? Which works for that deck, but if you're wanting to substitute this for one of the one of the Despia fusions, well, then you would have, it just wouldn't work because those don't specifically list a Despia monster. They just say, like, for example, Masquerade says 1 Despia monster plus 1 light or dark monster. So it doesn't work there. It's not, the name isn't specifically listed. But I guess what this is useful for right now is just being able to add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. I guess one question I have is, why would you opt to play this in addition to the Frightfur package? Like, if you're going to play the Frightfur package, I feel like that's better than this, because you're also getting your Edge chain to hand, which is going to allow you to have an extra material, whether you're going for Masquerade or going for Guardian Chimera. So I just don't think this card is worth it. I think it's being a little overhyped. It's just not that good. But moving on down, other than the super rare, we have like the original print rare, which is dollars, and then a couple of commons. If you were just going to play with this card, like if you just wanted to play with it, I would just get a common, honestly, and just sell your holos, because I think these prices will come back down. They've never been this high, or at least they haven't been this high in a long time. It's just not worth holding on to. Next is Marincess Seahorse, Starlight Rare. This is up quite a bit in price, due to the water hype. If you look at like a year time frame, it's come from around 150, up almost $100, if not more here. For a near mint's 280, then going up to 500 here. I think if you bought it for like 150 to 180, what I would probably do is try to offload it at like 300 if you can, maybe 280. I wouldn't sell it for like 250, because you have to also keep in mind that you have to pay a good amount of fees to TCG player for the sale, and then also expensive shipping, because like for a card like this, you know, you want to get insurance for it. When you're shipping it, unless you want to risk it, that's up to you. But you know, usually if it's like over $200, I'm taking it to UPS, and then it's like I think $2.50 charge for every $50 or so over $100, or every extra $100 is $2.50, something like that. So like for example, I just sold a ultimate rare forbidden droplets for $290. And then after TCG player fees, I cleared $250 just on TCG player. And then I had to go pay $15 in shipping, or 15 to 18, something like that, to get it tracked. You know, also obviously have like a bubble wrap, and then also have it insured. And so even though I picked up the card for $190, after all the fees, I'm really only clearing like $40. So it's really not as crazy as it would seem. But just make sure you keep in mind those costs. So like a $300 card went to about 240, you know, so or 230. So just keep that in mind, that you're not going to be getting this full list price. So you can't just say, well, I bought it for $150, so I made $130 profit. There are going to be fees. Now, if you want to get around some of those fees for these more expensive cards, probably the best way to do it is to, if you live in a bigger city, you can list it on Facebook and see if someone bites. Usually what I do is offer like 85% off the TCG player price if I'm selling it on Facebook, because you're saving money and they're saving money, but there's also like this person has to meet you somewhere and come get it. It's not being shipped to the door. So that's kind of the reason why you do like 85%. Yeah, that's all I really have to say on that. It's a great looking card, and also it's from Rising Rampage, so it's like it's the first Starlight, you know, along with Appaloosa. Moving on, Grave of the Super Ancient Organism is also completely bought out. So there's 2 copies here, but there's also an ultimate rare from Raging Battle, which is insane as well. It's like over $100. We might look at it here in a second, actually, because I have no idea what it is. I just know that it would be bought out if these are. But the ultra rare, near mint, $30, lightly played unlimited, 24. And the commons are $8, you know, going up to like 9 or 10. These have calmed down a little bit. These were more towards like 20, and these were up quite a bit more than what they are at now as well. But they're not really selling now. They're kind of calming down. If you wanted to get one of these to play with, just first know it's not as good as it sounds. It's super gimmicky. Like you definitely wouldn't want to main deck it, because it's not going to be good against every deck. It's mainly good against Despia. But then you also have to go first. If you're going second, you know, it does you no good. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. You're better off probably playing hand traps that are going to be consistently hitting every deck, or play cards like Triple Tactics Talent, stuff like that, or Forbidden Droplets even. But the ultimate rare we'll look at as well. Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. But anyways, if you have those cards and you're not playing them, offload them. They'll be cheap again one day. Lightly played here, 55. It's not as bad as I would have thought. It must have calmed down, because I think it was worse. Lightly played first edition, 68. And I don't really care to look at the near mint. But if you look at the market price, the unlim was 22 and first edition is 33. Yeah, I think that these will calm down, to be honest with you. I think that this is a little bit of an overreaction, and which happens all the time. It's nothing we haven't seen in the past. I would probably offload these if I had them. I'm sure they look good, but you can always just pick them up later for cheaper. Next is Time Thief Redoer from 2010 of Lost Memories, secret rare. This has been getting some hype recently, but honestly, I could not tell you what for. I'm trying to think what play is level 4s. I just don't really know. It wouldn't be Splight related, and I don't know, maybe Time Thief is getting support. Let me know if you know. I'm sure one of you guys do. But only 9 listings left here. $7 lowest, going up to 10 here for near mint. But quite a few copies still available. Do I think it's worth it? No. Time Thief Redoer is good, but you have so many, like you already have like 4 or 5 printings, and I think that this is kind of niche. Like not a lot of people are going to be playing Time Thieves. And if you're using like a level 4 engine, I honestly don't think this is the best level 4 in the game right now. Like I would much rather play like a Abyss Dweller if I was going to be playing a level 4 engine, or play something like Traptrix, Rafflesia, Dugaris, or there's a ton more. Baguska is good as well, just depending on what you're playing. And then of course, like you've got Bahamut Shark if you're playing waters. But let me know if you know what this is being used for. Let me know. We'll actually look at the other versions though. Just curious. I do have like the OTS Super, which I'm fine with. I don't think that the prismatic even looks that good, to be honest with you. It's just the colors that are in the card. Ghost from the Past around $1 here. You know, if you really wanted to have a copy, that's not bad. Super rare from OTS around 75 cents here. And then you can get commons for 70 cents. I think OTS pack super is probably going to be better than your Ghost from the Past Ultra, just because OTS pack 12 is getting older now. So it does look good. I do have one of these and it does look good. So up to you. I mean, I think the prismatic secret rare does look the best, but it's not my favorite like secret rare by any means. Since we're looking at that, I also kind of wanted to check out Time Thief Adjuster, see what it's doing. If you look at a year, like obviously this card had a lot of hype in the beginning and was like, this doesn't even really show it, but it was around $9 on release, $9-10. And it's just been staying like kind of steady, just bouncing between $3 and $4 for a while now. But 250 lowest here, not too bad. Going up towards like 350. This card is good, but like at the same time, you would need to be playing Time Thieves or like a substantive Time Thief engine, or like a Time Thief rank 4 engine, like you have a bunch in your extra deck. Otherwise, this card is not really good, because you're wanting to, like, basically this card, when you special summon a Time Thief monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is good. And then you can Foolish Burial a Time Thief card from your deck to your graveyard, except for this card. So pretty good. It's actually a really broken card. It's just not in the best archetype. I'm not a big fan of Time Thieves. I think it's a cool archetype as far as like the idea and theme behind it, but I just don't think that they're really that powerful. And I know a lot of people that have tried to make it work and just haven't been able to. But not a bad deal for the card if you really wanted it. I'm gonna withhold from saying if you should invest or sell though, because I just don't know enough about this card. And the same goes for this next one. Although I do have more confidence in this card as an investment. But as you can see, kind of some wild swings here between $1.50 and like 99 cents. But it's going for 60 cents really. But then you do have shipping, of course, and then going up to $1. I think at this price point, this being a solo print, that's not too bad. I know this card's really good for Time Thieves, but like I said, you don't really see a lot of people playing this deck, and it's definitely not competitive, or I wouldn't even consider it really a rogue deck. It's more of just a casual fun deck. But up to you. I'm also not going to, give you advice on whether you should invest in this card or not, other than I think that this is probably a better bet than the Time Thief Adjuster. Being that it's an extra deck monster, it's a little bit more generic. Effect Failure Ultimate Rare, I've noticed, is low on copies altogether, and then the first editions have gone pretty crazy. But starting off here, Lightly Played, $250 for unlimited, which is not too bad. I actually got this card when it was $90 for unlimited, and if you remember, it was, I can tell you the exact time point. It was in, I think, the early 2021, I believe, when it was the second COVID check when it came around, and it was $90 for Lightly Played unlimited. And then first editions were like 150 for like near mint. Moving on here, though, we see that the near mint unlimited bottoms out here to 330, and then Lightly Played first edition starting at 400, and then the only 2 near mint copies left are 500. Do I think this card is going to go down in price? Absolutely not. To be honest with you, I think it's the $90 days are over with for this card. It's just really hard to get. And if you've ever seen this card or you've ever bought this card, it's really hard to let go of. It's probably one of the top three best ultimate rares ever printed as far as the textures, colors, and look. I'd say that my only negative for this card is it's very flimsy. So it's kind of almost scary to play this card in your deck. Like I never would play mine in my deck because you could easily bend it or damage it or nick it up pretty well. But moving on, I wanted to cover a few things in Crossroads of Chaos that I have been looking at. So first off, Black Rose Dragon, lightly played, starting off at 222 here. That's not too bad because you do bottom out here at 245 for lightly played. Yes, first edition's ideal, but when you're looking at the first editions, like starting off at no less than $1,000 for like a light play, I'd understand, just going for the light play unlimited, just to have it. Because at the end of the day, it's, if it's your collection and you don't have the money to spend on the first edition, it makes sense that you'd want to get the unlimited. I do that all the time as well. Like for example, I would rather have say 5 to 10 unlim super old, like high rarity cards than have like one first edition card. Just because I don't know. To me, I'm just more happy that way. But definitely if the first edition is affordable, then I definitely go for that. Or sometimes even if it's double price, if I think it's worth it, then I'm definitely going to go for that. Because I'm not one of the people that says first edition doesn't matter. I definitely think that it does. But sometimes it's just unattainable. Plague Spreader Zombie Ultimate Rare, $53 for unlim. This was $20 for a while too, not too long ago, like over a year ago, but it has been going up in price quite a bit, and there's only 24 listings left. And then the first edition is really expensive. I think well over 150, like maybe 180. Moving on. Okay, yeah. So this is one thing I wanted to point out. This Revive King Hades Ultimate Rare. And by the time you see this, I don't know if this listing will still be here, but there's a listing here for $8. And then the next lowest listing is 50. If you want to, pull the trigger on that and make a quick buck, go for it. I'm gonna let y'all have that. And then Neos Wiseman, $30. It's been bought out for a while because there's Engine playing Neos Wiseman right now. It's a little bit high for unlimited, to be honest with you. If it was a first edition, I would say, it is bought out, but go for it. It's not that bad for a Neos card, but that's pretty crazy. Doom Kaiser Dragon, 15 here, going up to 20. It's not a very good card. Neither is the one that's $8, and then it goes up to 50, but this set's really collectible. Tempest Magician, I also think this card's really good to have as well. I believe this is still on the ban list to this day. Really powerful card. It's great looking too, and I believe it's only got one printing. No, I guess it does have more. But it's around $12 for unlim, and then going up towards 15 to 18 for first edition, I believe. Stardust Overdrive. I actually don't know which one's the first edition print here. It's definitely this. Okay, it's the secret rare. I was trying to remember which one's older, but yeah, I think this is a super rare, like limited edition for the special edition boxes. These are $250. That's not too bad either if you just want a copy. But we'll look at these secret rares, and this will be the last card that we look at. So 14 for near mint, 15 there, and then going up to 30 pretty quickly. This could easily be bought out, and then first editions are gone, $67, 85. I would probably just pick up one of these cheap light plays, to be honest with you, because they quickly go to 30 here. I don't think anybody's going to really spend $70 on the near mint first edition, at least anytime soon, because it is still banned. Of course, if it comes off that ban list, $70 means nothing. It's going to be, at least over $100 easily. But thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you next time. I think I'll probably have another market watch come out either tomorrow night or Thursday. We'll see. I think I am going to be doing some filming tomorrow, but I don't know if it's going to release tomorrow or not. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye.